I'm just going to do a little bit of prospecting with a small dry fly. I've got a small olive pattern on, small Paradun. There's been just the odd fish rising. I'm just hoping that one will come and fancy my fly. Officially, of course, short stream dry fly fishing is done to targeted fish and not search fishing as I'm doing, but it sometimes works. Now, you can see ahead of me there's a narrowing of the stream between two weed beds. That's a very good food lane. If I just drop my fly ahead of this food lane and let it trundle through, I might move a fish. The water is reasonably clear, though it's not absolutely short stream gin clarity. There's a fish. There's a fish right on top of that ranunculus bed. Just let it drift past him so they don't spook him with the pick off, and drop it over him and see if he comes. Ah, just below him. Just below him. I'll just rest him for a second and I'll go over him again. Just dry my fly. I need to almost clip the ranunculus. Dragging. Damn. The trouble is, where the fly landed is very calm water, very slow moving. Where my fly line is, it's moving fast, so I need to do a slack line cast just to buy a bit of time. I've only got about a second and a half, and now drag's setting in. It's a crafty fish, they usually are. He knows where to lay. No, it's dragging. No, I think I've spooked that fella. I have to move on upstream. Try in the centre of the river. Of course, in a lot of places on short streams, wading is not allowed. In fact, it's frowned upon, but this stretch you're allowed to wade, and in fact in places you'd be hard pressed to fish it without wading. And I've got chest high waders on, but I've rolled them down to waist level, so I'm going to have to watch it myself in case I step into a deep hole. I've about maximum amount of line out. I don't want any more than this, about 3 rod lengths. Paradun's sitting nicely. No problem there with the fly. Odd pale water is coming off, I can see, but they're taking wings straight away. They're not, because it's a warm day, they're not floating down on the surface. They're ecloding and popping off almost immediately. Ah, there's a fish moved just ahead of me. Now he's a little bit straight ahead, so I don't want to line him. I just might work my way just slightly across. But there was a fish rose. Yes, I thought he'd come sooner or later, and he did. Only a small fish, but nevertheless. Wet my hand, and it's a little grayling. Come here, sunshine. So that was a fish that rose, and I finally fooled him. Wasn't what we're after, wasn't a trout, and it was a very small grayling, but nevertheless, it just shows that on a completely dour day, when there's very little surface activity, it's always possible to move at least one fish. And there's always a chance of another one, I suppose. Another fish has risen over in that slack water. I'll just keep dropping the fly over him. If I can get a good drift, he may come and take. I'm stood, as you can see now, up to my waist. I'm at the end of this ranunculus bed. Bottom's perfectly hard and firm. And as I wade forward, I'm going to climb out of this deep water into shallow water. I don't want to go too far because I don't want to spook the fish. He's lying more over towards that raft of weed over there. If I put a fly over there, it will drag within seconds and hook up into the ranunculus, but let's be daft and let's just try one. Got him. Yeah, I had just a second there before drag set in, and he nailed it before drag set in. Now this is a trout and he's a better fish. Whoa, off downstream. No, he's not a big fish, but he's just a little bit spunky and full of life. It was very surprised when, whoa, it was just lying in that complete dead area. He must have thought it was as safe as houses in there. And he nailed it just as it was starting to turn and drag. Pretty strong are these little haven fish. And the keeper told me there's quite a proportion of wild fish in here. He's not bad, it's nice firm handful. Just nailed him in the scissors. Just slip that out. And away he goes. Well, that was a fish from a position where I must have dropped her out on his nose, from a position where I thought I had no chance. But it just shows you've always a chance in this game. So that were a couple in what, literally 5 minutes?